up, y'all? It's T.M.T. We're back with another episode of the T.M.T. podcast. This episode is called Jealousy and Envy. I'm Terrence.
I'm Miles.
And I'm Tim.
And we're about to jump right into it.
All right. So today we're going to talk about jealousy and envy, like Terrence just said. But a lot of people don't know, even though it sounds very synonymous, like envy and jealousy, they're actually very different terms. So jealousy, the feeling of being threatened, insecure, or protective of something you already have. That usually involves at least three parties. So that might be you, someone else, and then something that is threatening to take your spot for whatever it may be. And then envy is like the longing to have what someone else has, usually attributes or like a possession of something. So that usually only requires two people, but it can be more, but it's a minimum of two. So like I was envious of Tim something, it would just be me and him. So just because y'all, just to like lay down the groundwork of what it is, I'm gonna ask you guys, is there any point in time where you guys have been super envious or jealous? And if you were, explain the situation. Or actually, I have a better way to ask this question. So, obviously, everybody has felt envy or jealousy, whether they want to admit it or not.
Right.
I've never been. You have. Yeah. Everybody out there talking about, no, not me. Yes, you have. Whether you admit it or not is up to you, though. But I'm going to just ask like this then. Since jealousy is more of like, you fear something being taken away or being replaced in that sense, would you say throughout your life you've been more jealous or envious? And since y'all clearly have these blank faces on, I'll say envy for me. And the reason why envy is because I was never insecure about something being taken or me being replaced by something, but I was just envious of what other people had, if I'm being honest. Like It was more of like man, I really like his shoes, I want those. I don't like, and when we say envy, there's a very negative connotation around it because it's always a feeling of resentment because someone has something. It's not always, oh, well, he has that, that's cool. It's more, man, he got that. Man, I want that. I don't like that he got that. Like, that's envy, which is one of the 7 deadly sins, by the way, which is why it's negative.
Exactly. So, and some people, this doesn't even really answer the question about us, but I'm saying some people, they'll go so far as to the point where with envy, they'll do whatever they can do to see you without it, even if they can't get it.
Yeah.
They just don't want to see you with it. You know?
Exactly. And that's the problem with envy really is you are looking at what people have so much that you are ignoring what you bring to the table in whatever capacity you might be. And that goes to show like a lot of people are ungrateful for what they already do have. So then let me rephrase this question. Has there ever been a moment where you have seen somebody or met somebody who had something that you didn't have and you weren't grateful for what you did have?
Oh,
yeah. And I'll say that I'll be more specific. In your childhood, as you guys are grown, obviously this is a harder question to answer because you guys are more appreciative of what you have, I would imagine. Yeah. So, but as a child, could you guys think of some examples?
Sure. As kids, there's a bike, a toy, a game system.
I'm glad you said that, and that's why I said it's impossible for anyone to be like, no, not me. Right. As a child, you had to be at least one.
You just didn't understand what it was.
Yeah, for sure.
And I want to say too, although it may not seem like this at times, because as an adult, I feel like being envious, that's something you do yourself. But as a child, I feel like envy can be provoked as a child. It can. The reason I say that is because as a kid, it's easier to make you feel like you're lacking something as a child. Like, say somebody got on some type of shoes or Jordans, and your parents, they don't really buy you that type of stuff, even though you have nice things. They don't really buy you Jordans or anything like that. Kids might get on you like, oh, you don't got Jordans and stuff like that, and you might envy what they do have, although you never really cared about it.
Yeah.
You start wanting what they got just because they made it seem like it was more valuable.
For sure. What about you?
I'd say I agree with that because kids are some buttholes, bro. They will rub it in your face.
I got this. You don't got that. You got to think about that all day long. You see this dude in all your classes. I don't know about y'all, but like when I was envious of people, like especially in school, I would see them all the time, like throughout the whole day, lunch period, third period, whatever, and it would just make me want what they had even more. Right. And that's where the feeling of resentment comes from, because it's like a constant, like in your face kind of thing. Yeah. It's not just like all right, I see you once, I'll never see you again, so it's easier to forget. It's more like I see you all day, every day. So it's just like I wanted to strangle you because you got this nice stuff, but
You got another point, or you just about?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay. I was gonna say, I feel like when it comes to this stuff with envy and jealousy, and I think speaking of envy more so, I feel like you can get it to the point where you kind of make people envious or jealous of you because of your attitude. Like, say you might have something and somebody might admire what you have, right? And you might rub it into their face to the point where it comes off as condescending. You know what I'm saying? And it makes them to the point where, like, dang, I wish I had that. And there's also another, it can come off as if, like, you can admire something so much and want it so much to where it almost becomes like a greed thing. And then you desire it so bad, but your attitude, it changes your attitude towards that person, right? And so you become envious of that person instead of envious of what they have. And I'm not saying that's a great thing either, but the point I'm making is, like, say somebody, they're wealthy, right? You start envying them for the wealth instead of envying them for what it took them to get that wealth. You don't envy the discipline that they had. You don't envy the hard work and dedication, the diligence. You start envying just the item itself, materialistic things.
Sure.
You know, that's all I was gonna say.
Anything to add on that?
Yeah, I mean, we live in a materialistic society these days. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to not see things that you don't have, but that you want.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it may bring that envy. Yeah. Like,
Nah, I feel you. But
you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I could see a Lambo driving down the street, and I'd be like, dang, I really wish I had that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
but like, now it's gotten to the point, I really don't care.
Right.
I feel like as you mature,
Yeah.
like there's certain things. See, and I'm glad you said that, because one thing, as I was researching young people, like 2022, 2023, well, not 2023, just in general, young people, like no matter what era, like as you're young, you're envious about looks and romance, like romantic situations, and school achievement and social success.
Yeah.
Those are the four big things. That's why, like, when you're jealous, like, if you are insecure in any of those aspects, it's easy to be jealous of other people. Now, if you don't have any of those, like, if you're, let's just say you're ugly, you know, like, respect, like, you know, if you think you're ugly, I don't believe anyone's ugly, but if you think you're ugly, then you might be insecure about someone. Like, if you're talking to somebody, dating somebody, you're going to be very insecure. So that can lead you to being jealous of other people. So, you know, there's that. But at the same time, that's not the important thing to, like, value as you, like, are growing up. But a lot of people are envious about that kind of thing because they're insecure about those things. And I feel like jealousy and fear, or no, not fear, sorry. No, sorry, I just lost my train of thought. No, not jealousy and envy, no. Fear and insecurity. Sorry, that's the word I was thinking. Fear and insecurity are the things that stem jealousy the most. Because obviously, if you are in fear of, like, losing your position in, like, whatever situation you're in, or if you're insecure about whatever position you're in, it's very easy for you to be, like, jealous of other people that might take that. Like, in relationships, it's, like, the most prominent, obviously. Like, if you're insecure with how you are in the relationship, not necessarily how you are, but if you're insecure of how you are in the relationship and some other person's giving your partner more attention or they look better or whatever, and you're insecure about that, it's very easy to be jealous. My fault for stumbling, but, you know.
Are you scared to be alone?
Scared to be alone?
Yeah. Like, in the long run, like, you know, you never.
Good question. I wouldn't say I'm scared to be alone, but it's not something I would desire to be alone. Like, I think you can have your space in anything, but I think being alone, I don't think it's a good thing for anybody, regardless of what anyone says.
Yeah, people might want to play this lone wolf like kind of
Right.
thing. Like, cause me, like, I'd say, like, I, like, really value my alone time, but I wouldn't say, like, oh, I love being alone. Like, I just value it from time to time because I like to, like, decompress my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I wouldn't say I love it. You know, it's just something I like to do, like, from time to time. But, like, obviously, I have, like, you guys and, like, other people in my life that I would like to be around.
Right.
Yeah.
So, you know.
I was gonna say, so when it comes to the whole jealousy and envy thing in relationships, right? Like we were talking about earlier, being insecure and things like that. I don't think all jealousy stems from insecurity, but some of it can. And it's okay to be insecure at times. I'm saying in a sense of, like, you can become insecure based off someone making you insecure. through their actions. Maybe their actions don't reassure you of where you stand at.
You heard that too?
Yeah, I heard that too.
All right, ignore it. Come on, keep going.
So sometimes it's like their actions may not give you reassurance in a relationship. That can be in a friendship. That can be in a significant other type of relationship. You know what I'm saying? Something that's outside of being platonic. And so that can make you feel a certain type of way. And people can also provoke you to jealousy. Jealousy doesn't just come from, oh, I just don't feel good about myself. You know, it's all about how you're treated sometimes as well.
It definitely can.
Yep.
Because there's like a lot of different things. Like, for example, some psychological factors that lead to jealousy, like low self-esteem, anxiety, moodiness, depression, possessive insecurity, fear of abandonment is a big one, and codependency. So like if you're codependent on somebody and they're giving attention elsewhere, you're going to be jealous because you want to be dependent on them because that's the codependency of it. So it's like at the same time, it's not always about how you feel, but it's just like sometimes the partner or whoever it is you're in the situation with, it can become like a lack of reassurance.
Yeah.
Like for example, if you're dealing with somebody and they're like insecure and they're like expressing that, it's not your job to just bash how they feel. I'm like, I don't really like using this word, but gaslight. If they gaslight you and say, no, it's not, but like you have to reassure that they're not,
Right.
You're not going to switch them out with someone. Because again, that's the whole definition of jealousy, of being threatened, insecure, or protective of something you already have. So if you feel like someone's going to like replace you and like they're not reassuring you that you can stay, you're going to be jealous of the next person they're talking to or like whoever they're giving that attention to.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Because security in yourself and security in something outside of yourself, as in a relationship, is completely different. That takes two people to be secure in a relationship. You know what I'm saying? Not just one person. So I think that's a big thing, and people have to communicate with that. Like if you don't have discussion and you're not on the same page when it comes to that type of stuff, it's easy to become jealous over something. Yeah. You could be jealous over the time somebody gives to something. It don't always have to be a person. Say, okay, for example, you have a girl. You might be on the game a whole lot. She might be jealous of the time you give to the game or to other things rather than the time you give to her. You know?
True, true. And I feel like a lot of people are neglectful in that manner, and they don't really know it. They see, oh, you're just being jealous. It's not even that serious. Like, I feel like real jealousy comes from when people don't reassure someone's feelings as being incorrect.
Yeah.
Like, because, dudes, if y'all are out there playing the game, it's cool to play the game. I feel like a lot of times if you don't give your girl, like, the attention at any other given point, then it's very easy to be like, oh, all right, I'm just hopping on the game. And you might not think much of it, but she's thinking, dang, you on this game all the time. Now, sometimes it's cool, like I said. But, like, at the end of the day, like, if you're not prioritizing what's really important, it's very easy for someone to feel like you're replacing them or, like, not valuing them as much. You feel me? So, like, I think that's where it really comes from. But
Yeah, because time is a thing. I ain't gonna say everybody does it, but people should value the most more than anything. So when it's given to things that don't seem as significant, I mean, it's like, okay, dang, well, where do I lie?
that's
Where do I stand? So
And like also like there was a report that half of social media users have repeated feelings of jealousy to people like that they knew getting more likes than them.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of it is attention based. Like I'm jealous of the attention that this person's getting from social media. Those are the three parties. You got you got the person you're talking about, and you got the attention that they're receiving.
Yep.
So it's not necessarily that you can't get that. It's just what they have, and it's kind of like you don't have it. So it seems like, okay, well, I really want what you have. So that's like a combination of envy and jealousy, because you want what they have, but you could have it. You're just jealous that you aren't getting it right now.
All right, y'all. So that's it for part one of the third episode, Jealousy and Envy. So y'all can catch the next video for part two.